Welcome, homeowners, to the Ready, Set, Go webinar. We're preparing homeowners for a transition. And my name is Brian Schwatka. I'm a realtor and transition specialist with Keller Williams Bay Area Estates in Los Gatos. And I'm here today with Judy Jackson, who you all know is the Director of Sales and Marketing at Sunnyview of Cupertino. I want to say hi, Judy. Hello, how are you today?
I'm terrific. I'm glad everybody's here to join us, and you're going to be a great have a great presentation today.
Thank you. All right, so who is this Brian Schwatka guy with the weird last name? You can type my name into Google at any time. Brian Schwatka, I think there's only one of me. And you'll be able to see some presentations, you'll see the website, you'll see some testimonials, some videos, all sorts of things that can help you make really good decisions. So that's what I'm about. I've been in real estate since 2004. I work with homeowners of all ages, but I do really love my seniors, my retirees, and I'd say probably about 95% of my business is with homeowners that are 65 or older. So I'm a seniors real estate specialist, a certified seniors advisor, and a self-proclaimed transition specialist, and that's my goal. It always is to help you become a transition specialist yourself. So I'm just here solely to help you make those really good decisions. I created this system. It's called the Stay or Go Homeowner System. It's a three-step process. The first step is helping you decide if you should actually go or age in place in your home. And so I know that sounds weird coming from a realtor, but I don't want you to sell your home if it doesn't make sense for you. So first we decide if you should go. Then we decide where you're going to go. Is it going to be a smaller home, something that suits your lifestyle a little better? Or is it going to be a retirement living community like Sunnyview? Or is it going to be relocating out of the area? So if you're going, where you're going, and then finally help you make this transition as stress-free as possible. That's the number one goal. So I'm a realtor. I can help you with that. We have systems in place. With working with retirees who are transitioning into a retirement community. Here is the web page that goes with everything. Nothing to buy there. I'm not selling you anything. It's just a bunch of free information with videos and educational information. Stayorgohomeowner.com. Okay, and this is the entire Stay or Go Homeowner system. We've designed the webinar series that you've been watching. This is our 6th webinar, and it all starts with deciding I might want to go, and that gives you the clarity. We've already had our webinar on the holistic homeowner, culminating into a homeowner analysis, which is a free service for you, which gives you the clarity. Then it's where are we going, and this is the module, the retirement living community module. We've already talked about the myths of retirement living. We've talked about right-sizing or downsizing your belongings. We've talked about the difference between in-home care and retirement living communities, and that's giving us that certainty that we know what we're doing. And finally, here we are today. I'm ready to go. This is the Ready, Set, Go webinar, which prepares you once you've made that decision to move to a retirement community, and that's going to give you the confidence you need to go forward. So here we go. What is this Ready, Set, Go? It's not a sales pitch, not meaning to convince you sell your home if that doesn't make sense for you. This is a mini workshop for proactive homeowners. Homeowners that make things happen, not wait for things to happen, okay? You don't like surprises. You want everything spelled out, and that's what we're going to try and do here for you today. So we're going to talk about things like capital gains, holding title correctly, if someone has passed away, if a homeowner has passed away, what you might want to do, real estate 101, home preparation, what you do need to do, what you don't need to do, some downsizing tips, and creative financing. And you might be thinking to yourself, I'm a seller, why would I need creative financing? We'll get to that in a moment. So, all right, let's move on and let's just talk real briefly about what does any retirement community want from you, a transitioning homeowner? The first thing they're going to want from you is a health assessment, and I can't help there with the health assessment. That's something that the retirement community will work with you and with your doctor on to get a nice clean bill of health. And then we want to talk about the financial assessment. So how much is your home worth today? How much will you walk away with after you sell your home, because there are those pesky taxes that we might have to pay. And then Judy Jackson will put together a financial plan for you to show you how you will not outlive your funds. That's the number one goal, in life really is to not outlive your funds. So that is what the retirement community wants from you. The way I can help there on that is I can give you a realistic home quote. If you go to Zillow.com or you see these flyers that come to your door that tell you your home is worth X amount, how could they possibly know what your exact home is worth in this crazy market? So what you want to do, go to stayergohomeowner.com. There's a home quote tab. Fill in that information. Tell me a little bit about your home so that I can give you a realistic number, because Judy, when she does her financial planning assessment for you, she's going to want to know exactly what you're going to walk away with. She's going to want to know really what your home is worth. She's not going to go on Zillow and say, oh, it's, $5 million when it really isn't. Those Zillow numbers are maybe sometimes a good $200,000 off. So with the home quote, once we know how much your home is worth in this crazy market, now we need to know what you're going to walk away with. So if you sell for $1 million, it doesn't mean you're going to walk away with $1 million. It's not inexpensive to sell your home. So here are all the costs. I'm going to give you what's called a seller's net sheet of what you would walk away with, but there's something missing from this seller's net sheet, and I'm sure you know what it is. It's those capital gains. So for those of you who know about capital gains, sit back and relax. For those of you who don't know about capital gains, I'm going to explain it to you in the most simplistic way that I possibly can. And my teaching style is always that I want to teach you so in a manner so that you can teach other people. So when we talk about capital gains, we need to know some word definitions first, right? So the first word, the most important word in capital gains, figuring out what your capital gains taxes are, is basis. And that really goes with anything. What you paid for a product. It could be a stock, it could be a ring, it could be a home or a house, but whatever you paid for a product is the basis. Okay? Now, the difference between the basis, what you paid for it, and the sales price is your gain, right? So in this example, if I purchased something for $100,000 and sold it for $1 million, my gain is $900,000. We don't want to pay taxes on $900,000. So the government was nice enough to allow us to deduct some things, to write off some things, and they gave us exclusions. These exclusions raise our basis, and you'll see that I just raised our basis by $100,000, and now our gain is not $900,000 anymore. Now our gain is $800,000. This is good. So you can see the main goal is to increase our basis as high as we possibly can. These upgrades, these are everything that you've done to your home to make it more valuable, to make it more desirable. And you paid for those. So, in addition to the $100,000 you paid for your home, you paid an additional $100,000 in those upgrades. So really, that's what you paid for the home. Now, in addition to that, what they do is they give you an exclusion for the cost of selling your home. Remember, we were saying it's not very inexpensive to sell your home. So really, if I sell for $1 million and I have to pay $50,000, I really didn't sell my home for $1 million. So here's another exclusion, and our gain is now $750,000. Also, for residents or primary residents of the home, each resident, person on title, gets $250,000 of gain that they don't have to pay taxes on. So that's a nice gift that we've received from the government. That all started in 1997. And you'll see that our gain is now $500,000 rather than $900,000. And if I'm married or I have somebody else on title, then there's another $250,000. So you've seen we've gone from $900,000 of gain to $250,000 of gain. Now what we need to do is pay the taxes on that $250,000 of gain. It's usually about 30 to 35% total between Fed and state for the taxes on your gain. Now keep in mind, caveat, the current administration is trying to change that number from 30 to 35% and trying to increase it up to 45 or maybe even 47%. So a lot of people are taking advantage of the current low 30-35% is not low, but it's lower than it's going to be. So you pay your taxes, You also pay off your mortgage or your reverse mortgage or your home equity line of credit or whatever it may be. And there is your cash or your net from selling your home for $1 million. Now, something interesting happens when a co-owner passes away. When the co-owner passes away, you'll see the basis get stepped up to all the way up to the current fair market value of that home when that person passed. Okay, so when the co-owner passes and the home is worth $1 million, it looks to the government like that you paid $1 million. And if you were to sell that home that day, it looks like I paid $1 million. It looks like I'm selling it for $1 million. It looks like I don't have any gain. So my net is going to be larger. Now, the reason for that, and the most important thing about that, is that you're holding title correctly. Now, I know I sound like a CPA. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm a realtor, I'm not a CPA. I'm just trying to explain to you how selling for $1 million might not mean walking for $1 million, and capital gains really plays a part in this. So if you're holding title incorrectly, like joint tenants or tenants in common, these two ways of holding title have been around for years and years and years. You'll only get a partial step up in basis and you'll end up paying some capital gains. Now, if you have a trust, that's the best. At the bottom of this chart, you'll get a full step up in basis when the co-owner passes, and also you'll avoid probate. We're not going to talk about probate, but it's a very terrible, time-consuming, expensive thing that you want to stay away from as much as you can. Now, one thing I want you to get from this entire slide, because we're not going to get into it too detailed, is if you are a sole owner and you do not have a trust, if something were to happen to you, your estate, the house, everything, all of your bills and everything, would go to probate. And your successor trustees, well, they're not trustees because you don't have a trust. The people that your beneficiaries are your friends, family, estate, your heirs are going to have to go through probate, which might take a year and a half to get through. So holding title is very correctly. We'll talk a little bit more about this as we go on. And also, like I said, if you have any questions while we're going through this, touch that Q&A button, type in your question, and I will definitely get to those in the end. Okay? So, remember we talked about your exclusion for all of the home improvements you've made? Here is a list, and you can maybe take out your cell phone and maybe take a picture of the screen or watch the video that I'm going to send tomorrow. And you can start to create maybe a spreadsheet or a list of things that you've done to your home and about how much it costs and about when you did it, and come up with a number. You don't have to have receipts for everything, but come up with a number of how much money you've spent on your home, not just buying it, but upgrading it, right? So there's some caveats here. You know, if you've done 2 roofs, you can only claim 1, something like that. And another caveat is if a co-owner did pass away and you got to get that step up in basis, you're only going to take into consideration home improvements that were made after the step up in basis or after the co-owner has passed. So you might, if both co-owners are still there, you're going to have a big long list. If one co-owner has passed, you're going to have a smaller list of just the things you did after the co-owner passed. Okay? Keep that in mind. I need all these numbers to help you figure out what your final walkaway number is. Okay? Because we want to give Judy accurate information when she does your financial assessment. All right. Just real quick reminder, stayorgohomeowner.com. There's a home quote tab there, and I can help you out there. Also, in addition, if you want to do what's called a homeowner analysis, it's a free service that I offer where we sit down and we go over these numbers, and we go over a lot more than these numbers. We talk about different retirement living options, capital gains, how you're holding title, home preparation. Should you buy first? Should you sell first? Should you vacate the property or occupy it while it's on the market? We might need some creative financing. I can share that information with you. Should you sell your home for a cash out, or should you rent your home for a cash flow? And Real Estate 101. So just trying to get you ready for that final financial assessment. And we can do that on the phone or a Zoom call, or we can do it in person. And I'll give you a big list of homework, actually. Okay, so like I said, I'm not a CPA, financial planner. I'm not an estate planner. I'm not a downsizer. I'm just getting you thinking, getting you prepared. That's what the Ready, Set, Go webinar is all about. If you have very, very detailed questions, you're going to have to go to a specific service provider like a CPA or a financial planner. So when you're getting ready to get your home on the market, and whether that's going to be 2 months from now, 6 months from now, or even a year from now, it's good to get a relationship going with a realtor. Okay. Now, I'm a realtor, but I'm not saying I need to put my sign in your lawn. I might want to be one of the ones you interview, but I want you to interview a couple, 2 or 3 agents. Okay. Get those referrals from maybe from Judy, the seniors community. Get them from your friends and your family. Hey, which realtor did you use? Did you like them? Contact that realtor and interview them. Go with your gut there. You're going to be doing a lot of communications with this person. You need somebody you can trust, somebody that you like and you respect, somebody that's not too busy and not too slow. You don't want a housewife that does it on the side. You don't want a realtor who's doing 20 deals a month. Okay. So next thing you want to do is you want to invite the realtor to your home, maybe, or you can do it virtually. Okay. And I don't want you to let any realtor convince you to spend a bunch of money on your home. And I'm going to show you some examples in this presentation how we're trying to do the most with the least amount of funds. So don't let them convince you to upgrade your kitchen or your bathrooms and things, okay? You want to share your future plans with them. Judy probably gave you or will give you a move-in date, and we're going to work backwards from that date and forwards from that date, but that's the long pole in the tent. Share that information with the realtor. And then because I'm going to give you that home quote, you should have a real good feel of what you think your home is worth. But I don't want you to tell the realtor what you think your home is worth because they're going to say, I think so too. If you say 5 million, they're going to say, great. If you say 1 million, they're going to say, great. Just sign the paperwork. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to tell these agents that you're interviewing other agents as well. Keeps them on their toes. Okay. And don't get fooled by a high price. You might think your home is worth $1 million and they might come in and say, I think it's worth 1.5 million just to get you to sign a listing agreement with them. So be careful. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about real estate 101, just the important stuff that you need to know in selling a home. You haven't sold a home in years. So I'm sure you've had people come to your door and they've said, hey, I have a buyer for your home. They're going to sell it as is. You can stay as long as you have to. You don't have to do a darn thing. You don't have to deal with pesky realtors or open houses, and we'll give you XYZ number. That is really, it's just a scam. What they're trying to do is not put your home on the market and maybe sell your home to a contractor or somebody who wants a very low price. Your goal is to expose the home to the entire world so that you could get multiple offers and you can get the biggest bang for your buck, the biggest return on your largest investment. So be careful of that. And when they say, oh, we'll take it as is, do you even know what as is actually is? There's only one way to sell a home as is, and that is to tell the buyers what as is. How we're going to do that is because you don't go under your house and in the attic and you don't know everything about your home. So we're going to get a home inspection, a pest inspection, a roof inspection, a chimney inspection, and any other inspection we need to educate the buyers to show them what as is actually is. This is the best thing, and what you're doing here is you're helping yourself. You're helping yourself prepare that home for the market. You're putting all the cards on the table so somebody can't come back later and say, hey, you didn't tell me that. Oh no, I told you everything. It's going to eliminate surprises. It's going to eliminate renegotiating after the fact. So if you get anything from this presentation, don't ever accept an offer on your home unless the buyer has read every bit of disclosure that they could possibly read. And you don't even have to fix everything. You just need to tell them about it. Okay? Tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I say over disclose because it used to be buyer beware and now it's seller beware. So put your best foot forward and get all that information out. So what you are disclosing is all of the items that are being transferred with your home. It's called a transfer disclosure statement. And you'll just have a document. It's a 3-page document. And you'll just check off boxes, everything that comes with the home. Okay. And then you'll jot down also what you've done to the home over the years. And you put together that home improvement list. So that'll help you also in disclosing what you've done over the years. You want to address and point out issues and defects and all the repairs you've done and past leaks and pets and all different things that have happened. If you've had any insurance claims, if there has been a death in the property in the last 3 years. I know that's a weird question, but some ethnicities don't want to buy a home if someone has passed away there in the last 3 years. If it's been over 3 years, you don't have to disclose it. If you live in a homeowners association, you'll get a homeowners association package. It's a seller's package that tells the buyers everything about the homeowner association. You'll have to talk about barking dogs and kids playing drums and bus stops out front, things like that, neighborhood nuisances. And really, what it boils down to is you need three things to sell a home. Well, four. First, you need to disclose everything. In addition to disclosing everything, you need a double strapped water heater. You need a smoke detector in every sleeping area. Okay, every single room needs a smoke detector inside that room, and you need a carbon monoxide detector on each floor. Okay, it's a three-story home, you need three carbon monoxide detectors. That's really the basics of selling a home, is just making sure you disclose and you have these three final things in place before the close of escrow. So let's talk about repairing and preparing your home for the market. What we'll do, or a full service realtor will do, is they'll come in and they'll help you get quotes for all of the repairs that came from those inspection reports, because the inspection reports are going to find some things that we didn't know about. So the full service realtor will get quotes to fix all of those things. We can use either your subcontractors that you might like, or we can use our team of experts. And like I said, you're not obligated to fix everything. We're going to come up with a little bit of a budget. Is it $5,000? Is it $10,000? $15,000, depending on the condition of the property. And like I said, we're not spending more than we have to, but it does cost a little bit of money to get your home ready to go on the market. So we'll decide on a budget. And in that budget, we are going to use some of that budget for some plumbing and electrical repairs, because we want to show them that we took good care of that house. Getting your home ready for the market, these costs, these repairs and upgrades and making it look cute and painting and things like that, those are the costs are the responsibility of the seller. In fact, the realtor cannot spend money on your behalf fixing up your home. I want you to start sooner than later. That's going to reduce stress on everything. The longer you have to do this and the more you chop away at it day by day, the less stress you're going to have. So just slow and steady wins the race. I can come and tell you what you do need to do, what you don't need to do, and I can do all of this work for you on the side. Be careful, because some realtors don't want to do all of this work. They just want you to get the home ready to go on the market. Give me a call and I'll stick a sign in your lawn. You're paying a lot of money to a realtor to sell your home. You should be getting some extra services and attention. And also, they have really good subcontractors that they're working with on a daily basis. Okay, so that's repairing and preparing. Now, we did have a webinar a couple of months ago on right-sizing your life. And Cindy Hofen from Managing Moves and More came in, and she is the best in the business by far. But we do need to do some downsizing. We want to make that home look as large as possible, right? So I know you don't know where to start. It's very challenging. It's overwhelming. I'm sure the downsizer's home is cluttered. No one likes dealing with all of this stuff. And the family isn't really there to help, and nobody's really loving it, and you can't pay people with pizza and sandwiches anymore. So I know you have a lot of stuff, but I want this to be a fun opportunity for you, right? You shouldn't feel rushed. So let's start sooner than later. Let's spread it out. And you're going to need to do it whether you're staying or whether you're going. That's what I'm all about. If you stay, fine. If you go, fine. But if you, either way, I really do think you need to start downsizing those memories. So the first step, I'm just going to take 5 minutes and talk about downsizing as a recap, just in case you didn't see the last webinar, but you need to schedule it on your calendar. You schedule everything else on your calendar, and if you don't put right sizing or downsizing on your calendar, even 15 minutes a day or even 15 minutes a week, it's never going to get done. So first you need to schedule it, and then you need to know the floor plan of where you're going and the amount of square feet you have to work with, and start doing a floor plan to say, here's what I'm keeping, here's what I'm getting rid of, here's all that will fit in my new unit. So Judy Jackson will give you a floor plan of a couple of different models of maybe apartments that you might be moving in with, and then you can cut out the paper doll. One square equals 1 foot, 1 square foot, and you can start deciding what you're going to do. You got to have a floor plan. Next is to create this staging area in your home. Now, it could be in a special bedroom. It could be an area in the garage. Maybe you move your car out into the driveway for a few months and you start putting everything where the car used to be and start downsizing and making that room look larger. So you'll have different boxes for different things, right? So you'll have a box for the stuff maybe that you're keeping, maybe a box of stuff that you're giving away, so stuff that you're selling, stuff that you're donating, stuff that you're recycling, stuff that you're disposing. And you get this big box, it has a big plastic bag in it, and just start finding things, and every now and then you're putting things in the box. Okay? Or you can do that with these color-coded stickers that Managing Moves and More will give you, and you'll start putting stickers on. I'm keeping that, I'm getting rid of that, that goes to my daughter. Okay, focus only on what you're keeping. Don't worry about all those collections that you have, the salt and pepper shakers, the thimble, the golf balls, all that stuff. Just focus on what you're keeping, period. And then when you're done deciding what you're going to take, then you're going to want to invite your friends and family over. You have a party, you have a giveaway party, and you're going to give all that stuff away that you don't want. Now, don't be surprised if they don't want it all. So here's a little strategy for you. You can wait till it's their birthday, or maybe it's Christmas, and you can wrap the stuff up in a box and give it to them as a gift. Maybe that old set of china you have, or maybe that thimble collection. What are they going to say? No? So, good way to get rid of some stuff. Just a little tip there for you. All right, so don't get wrapped up in your stuff, okay? The market is very soft. There are a lot of people turning 65. There are a lot of people downsizing, and you don't want to miss a window, a real estate window, because you're trying to sell things at a garage sale or for a certain amount, and you don't want to miss a real estate market and you miss $50,000 because you were trying to get $1,000. There are move managers, like I said, downsizers. They can help you with your timeline, your floor plan, your sorting, your clutter, your selling of things, your disposing of things, donating things. They'll help you pack, they'll help you move, they'll help you set it up again. It's an amazing service, and none of my clients ever say that was a waste of time or waste of money. So there are senior move managers. You can go to www.managingmoves.com and they can show you how they will help you move. So check them out. They're worth their weight in gold. All right, now let's talk about the best return on investments for your home. We're talking about curb appeal, really, because we're going to be taking some photos, maybe even a video, and we're going to blast this information out, and we need that curb appeal, whether they're driving by or whether we're taking pictures. And so out in front of your home, we're going to be needing to do some landscaping, some pruning. We might get rid of those juniper bushes and the ivy, and we want to be able to see that home in all of its glory. We might wash the outside of the house. We might do some interior or exterior painting. Like I said, we're going to keep the costs to a minimum. And also on the flooring, if you have some carpet that can be cleaned, we'll clean the carpet. If you have hardwood floors underneath the carpet and we want to spend some time exposing those beautifully preserved hardwood floors underneath your carpet, we can do that. It's not very expensive. Or we can put in some new carpet, whether, maybe $1 a square foot realtor carpet, they call it. Just makes that home look nice and clean and taken care of. Also, if you have a home cleaner that you use, you might want to use one of our home cleaners because they're not used to your house. Your home cleaner might have got a little complacent. We want an industrial strength cleaning, a team of people. It might take them all day. Every single window track, the oven, the stove, everything is going to be sparkling clean. Windows as well. And then we might do some staging, or maybe some virtual staging, which I'll show you in a minute. And again, the seller is responsible for these types of costs. Okay, realtors are responsible for the marketing. Homeowners are responsible for the getting the home ready. All right, now my theory on what should you do to your home. The best return on investment is taking a home from bad and making it just good. Okay, people want good. They don't want you to pick out their countertops and you to remodel their bathroom and you to pick out the tile and the carpet. So we just got to get that home to good. Okay. Spending money, taking a home from good and going to great is, I don't want to say a waste of money, but you can't count on getting that money back. And really, with the lack of inventory that we have right now, it's a seller's market. There's no homes to buy. 15 offers on every home selling for $200,000 over asking. They're just like, get out. Just tell me what you know. Don't worry about fixing the place up and just take my offer. So let's not have you spend a whole bunch of money on getting a home ready to go on the market. Let's just get that thing good. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some examples. These are just takes a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to get a home ready to go on the market. Here's some before and after examples of what I've been talking about. So before we got there, there was junipers and big bushes, and you could not see the house whatsoever. So very inexpensively, we just cut out those junipers, pruned things back, raised the canopy of some of the bushes, and now we can see what the home looks like, and it'll look great in pictures and in the drive-by. Another one, in your backyard. It's a mess. We're not going to spend $10,000 getting your backyard together. We're just going to clean it up, and we're going to make do with what we can do. Really, what we call it is putting some lipstick on it in the least amount of money possible. Here's an old kitchen, and all we did was paint the cabinets, put some inexpensive linoleum down, put new knobs on the cabinets, and for what? $2,000, we have a brand new kitchen. Well, at least it looks like a brand new kitchen, but it was a good return on investment. Here's another kitchen, very dark, very old stuff. All we did was we put some carpet down, put some linoleum down, painted things. It just brightens it up, took the curtains off. People want light, bright, clean homes. So it's very easy to do. Here's an old bathroom that needed to be remodeled. The floor was in very bad condition. If you walked over there by the toilet, you might even fall in. But for another, what was that, $5,000, we get this bathroom right back into shape. And it was actually a selling point of the home rather than a eyesore of the home. Here's an older home. Beautiful, right? Beautiful curtains, beautiful rug, but it's too dark. It's got the cottage cheese. We just brightening it up. Now we bring in the staging, right? So we can see newer furniture, the furniture that the 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds are wanting, the crate and barrel kind of stuff. Here's another home. Dark curtains with carpet. We took up the carpet. We exposed and refinished those beautiful hardwood floors. We repainted the bricks. And for very inexpensive, we got that thing in very good shape. Here's an odd color. It's a dining room with older lighting and carpet. And now it's something it's not an issue. It's actually a photographic gem there that's going to attract people and get them to come to the home. Lastly, here's one, some wood paneling, some carpeting. Room just wasn't doing it. So all we did was painted, put some new carpet in. We actually painted the paneling, and then we staged the home. So lots going on there. The staging, let's talk just a little bit about the staging. There is now virtual staging, okay? Because staging can get expensive. Staging is about $3,500 for them to bring in furniture to your home. And if you're staying in your home, you already have some furniture maybe that you're taking with you. So we might want to do some virtual staging, okay? So we just take a photograph of that room and we enhance those photographs. And it makes the room really come to life. It shows the buyers what the home could look like. It helps them visualize it. And we are disclosing, hey, this is virtual staging. So we've done that recently, saving $4,000. We did the full house, full virtual staging with a disclosure of the house is not actually staging. And this house sold for 6 offers, $250,000 over asking with no staging at all. So here's some examples. On the left is an empty room. And then these wizards with their photographic expertise, they furnish that vacant picture, and it looks really real. There's there's shadows and things moving, and they really do a really good job of making an empty room look fully furnished and staged. Then there's also virtual furniture replacement. So if you have a grand piano or a pool table or some old furniture or maybe even the wrong color on the walls, or maybe you don't want to replace that carpet, we can do virtual furniture replacement and make that room look completely different. Uh, if your landscaping is a little not quite there because brown is the new green, we can show them what the lawn would look like if we didn't live in California in a drought. So, but it just gives them that feel of, okay, I get it, right? We can also do virtual remodeling. So you can show these younger buyers what your bathroom or kitchen could look like. And we can also get quotes for what it would cost to actually do this. And then we can use that as a marketing piece to show them, hey, your bathroom could look like this for $11,000. So lots of really creative things. And this is all, believe it or not, from COVID. We had to pivot and adapt and do different things. And we embraced the technology. And it's really we're just being thrust into the future. We love it. It's working really well. There's a kitchen remodel. Here's a backyard that is big enough for a pool. So we wanted to show them, hey, here's what a pool looks like in your backyard. Full disclosure. All right. So interesting stuff. Technology's happening. Let's talk real briefly about the actual the actual transaction, the real estate transaction. On the left of this screen, you'll see your inspections and disclosures, your full disclosure, home pest roof. We've made some repairs. We've done our seller's disclosures. We've done our marketing. And then we put it on the MLS, the multiple listing service. We get a contract from a buyer. It's as is. And the first thing that happens is a 3% deposit paid by the buyer. It's a good faith upfront money. They send that to the title company in case they back out. That money could be up for grabs. During that time, between the time you get your contract and this big green box, this contingency removal box, that's all open to negotiation and the buyer can back out during that time. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the buyer can get out pretty easy before they remove their contingencies. So, let's call that the long pole in the tent. Soon as you get the contingency removal, the buyer giving you a document saying that I fully approve of the house, I can get a loan, I can get insurance, I've seen all the disclosures, I'm ready to remove my contingencies, then we're good to go. But again, they can back out at the final portion of it. Nothing is for sure. So you have to actually wait until you close escrow, until you can breathe a sigh of relief and get your funds. So, lots going on there. And here's why I showed you that. You need to decide if you're going to occupy your home while it's on the market or vacate your home before it goes on the market. This is the most important question I'm asking my clients now. I don't think anyone wants to occupy their home while it's on the market. Those days are gone with all the safety stuff and the COVID thing and just all that uncertainty. So, what's the great thing about Sunnyview is that it's a month to month. Even if you're doing a buy-in, you can start out with a month to month. So you don't need those funds from the sale of your home to give to Sunnyview before you can move there. You can just move there, pay the monthly fee, move all of your stuff there, and give the realtor a vacant home to downsize, remodel, or upgrade, do the repairs, stage, and sell while you're not there. Now, if you are going to a community that has a buy-in and you need to give them those funds up front and you don't have those funds to give them and you don't want to occupy the property while it's on the market, get in touch with me. I have some creative financing going on where I can fund your investment to the retirement community, whether it's Sunnyview or somewhere else, so that you can move without selling your home. Once you sell the home, you pay that person back. It's an angel investor. It's also sometimes called a bridge loan, but we've had to modify that because it's actually not a bridge loan, because a bridge loan is for when you're buying another property. And when you're buying into a retirement community, you're not buying another property, so we can't call it a bridge loan. So we have some really creative financing options for you. We'll talk about that in the homeowner analysis. All right, and this is the homeowner analysis here. So we're going to plan your future. Uh, we're going to talk about your retirement options and all the things that we've talked about in this presentation. We will rehash and talk about in person because the fact is that what I'm saying here is very generic and it applies to everybody, but you have specific situations. And I've been doing this for 18 years now, and it's hard to come up with a document that just says, here, do all of this. So it's really good for us to get together for a half hour, 45 minutes. Tell me your story. It's not personal information, but tell me what you've got, and I can then feed that back to you and use what's in here that I've learned over doing this for all of these years. So utilize me. I'm free, no expectations, no strings attached on my part, just helping you make those good decisions going forward. And if you need what's called a transition manual, I do have the Ready, Set, Go transition manual. And then even above and beyond that, I have what's called a flight manual, which spells out every single thing that's going to happen during that real estate process. And you need to know that. And I would say that seniors really want that information up front. They don't want to be surprised. So I've written all of this stuff out to make it easy for you. So it's all there at stayergohomeowner.com. And so here's some things. We're going to wrap it up now. It's quarter to noon. I'm looking over here at the Q&A. Either I'm talking too fast, I'm covering everything really well, or you're totally confused and you don't know what questions to ask, but I don't see any questions there. So feel free to ask. And in the meantime, between now and the time we end, here's some things that you can do to help facilitate a transition. There's that crawl space and attic door in your home. When we go to do those inspections, that crawl space, I know mine is like in the back bedroom and everything's on top of that door. So it's time to prepare for the inspectors to come in. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to gather up all of your warranties and instruction manuals to, let's say, the solar panels or the dishwasher or things that people need to know about, maybe some warranty on the roof or something. Lock up your valuables, your jewelry, your medication, your firearms, your money, whatever it is, because if people are going to be coming through your occupied home, you're not going to want that kind of stuff around, okay? Also, we're going to try and depersonalize the home because we don't want people coming through your home and looking at your pictures and going, I think I went to high school with that person. We want them to look at the house, not all of this stuff. So we want to depersonalize that. If there's any crucifix or Buddha or Star of David, whatever it is, we want to just make this home generic. Okay? We're going to downsize. We're going to keep the blinds open, or I will, while your home's on the market, while it's vacant. We want lots of light coming into the home. You're going to want to make a couple of copies of your home keys because we've got a couple of lock boxes out front that we'll need the keys for. You want to think about your pets. If you're going to occupy the property, you don't want your pets getting in the way or you having to worry about that. That's what, long story short, I would love for you to vacate the home and sell a vacant home first. So if there's any way I can help you to do that, it's really going to reduce your stress. Okay, so let's work on that. Let's get the house cleaner out there. We'll do some yard work. Those are the things that you can do. I've got a huge list. It's going to be in that Ready, Set, Go transition manual that I'll give you if you ask for it. Here's some homework. You can take a picture of this screen as well, but it's also in the Ready, Set, Go manual. But if you're a single owner, remember I said when we're talking about how to hold title, if you are a single owner and you don't have a trust, it's the number one thing on my list here. Get a trust in place. That trust is going to cost you $2,000 and you're going to save thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you're going to make everything easier in case something happens between now and then. If you're married and you want that full step up in basis, you're going to be holding title as community property with rights of survivorship, okay? Or holding title in your trust. But even if you have a trust, you need to make sure that you're holding title as community property inside of that trust. You could have a trust and you could be holding title as joint tenancy or tenants in common. This community property thing's only been around for like maybe the last 25, 30 years. If your trust is very old, you might be holding title incorrectly. Then we're going to calculate, remember, like we said, how much you've spent on home improvements over the years, only the ones uh, after a co-owner passed. Remember that, okay? If a co-owner did pass, you're going to want to go back in time and order what's called a backdated appraisal upon death. So let's say your co-owner passed away 15 years ago. You're going to want to hire an appraiser, and you're going to want to say to that appraiser, hey, my co-owner passed 15 years ago. What was the home worth 15 years ago? Because that number is going to be higher than what you bought it for. And we want the highest number possible to look like we have the least amount of gain, right? So I have an appraiser who does backdated appraisals. Let me know if you need that information. Also, if you want to see your title and see if your co-owner is still on that title, I can send you that information, and we need to remove that co-owner from the title. Sometimes it doesn't happen automatically and they're still on title, and when you go to sell your home and that person's still on title, it's going to slow things, or if not stop things. Okay, we're going to interview a couple of realtors. Remember, we want a realistic price for our home, and we want those realtors to know that you're interviewing multiple realtors. Now, I might be shooting myself in the foot there, but I want you to make good decisions, and I want you to have a realtor who's on their toes, right? Thinking to themselves, ooh, I've got competition. I want to win this. Okay? Now, you might want to meet with your CPA as well, because the year you sell your home, it's going to look like you made a lot of money that year. So I can only get you part of the way there. I can tell you what your capital gains, I can tell you about what you're going to walk away with, but then it's time to meet with a CPA and say, hey, this realtor gave me this information. Can you check this? Can you check it for accuracy, and how close am I going to get? Also, if you have a financial planner, you might want to meet with that financial planner and show them the homeowner analysis that I've given you that says, here's what I need to do, here's why I'm doing it, and here's how much it's going to cost, and here's how much I'm going to walk away with. If you don't have a financial planner or advisor to do that with, Judy will help you. Judy Jackson will help you with this spreadsheet that she has, where she can plug in your numbers and show you how you won't outlive your funds. Then you need to decide if you're going to buy first or sell first, occupy or vacate. You're going to want to get that staging area in place, in the special bedroom or in the garage. You're going to get those boxes. You're going to label those boxes. You're going to start putting stuff in those boxes slowly but surely. You're going to schedule your time with yourself, time to do this on your calendar. Decide, your floor plan and whatnot. Have the friends and family come over and take what they want, because we're going to be downsizing over a long period of time. Contact that move manager and have them help you with that. It's not an easy task. And I know you're thinking, well, I'm the only one who can do the downsizing because I know what I want and I know what I don't want. But they're like a accountability coach, like the coach you hire at the starting of the year when you make that New Year's resolution to lose weight, and there's that person at the gym waiting for you. That's what a move manager is. They're going to help you, give you tips, and they'll do it a la carte. I'll come maybe a couple of hours a week or something, but get them involved. It's so worth the money. You're going to want to create a budget or think about how much you have to spend on your home. If you don't have any funds to spend on your home, you might want to think about getting what's called a home equity line of credit. So you do have some funds to spend on the home. 100% of the, well, I shouldn't say 100%, but I would say a very large percentage of the homes I work on are homes that need some love. And we're spending about 5,000 minimum, probably about 10,000. And if you don't have that 10,000 readily available, or you don't want to dip into your savings, you might want to get this home equity line of credit, or maybe ask somebody for some funds and then you'll pay them back. Get a realtor on your side. This is get a listing agreement in place. Even if you're a year out, it doesn't cost you anything. Interview those realtors and hire one of them and say, I'm not ready to do anything right now, but they can help you. And it's hard to help you without an agreement in place that says, we have a relationship and I'm going to hire you as my realtor. So, get somebody on your side. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's non-binding, right? Until you sell the home, all you're doing is getting a relationship together, and you can cancel at any time. So we're going to order our home past roof chimney inspection so we can sell everything as is. We're going to make some repairs. We're going to get that transition guide, the Ready, Set, Go transition guide. Um, and you're going to let the realtor and the downsizer do all the work for you. You don't want to be dealing with all of these different people. And I kind of liken it to a three-legged stool. You've got Judy as one leg, you've got your realtor as the other leg, and you've got your move manager as the third leg. Let those people do the work for you. Okay? It's free, right? To do the work. You only pay when you're done. And that's about it for the presentation itself. If you want to look at some puzzle piece videos, I've broken down everything I do into little 4 or 5 minute videos. You can go to the website, go under education, and you can look at the puzzle piece videos. That's about it for now. So if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests, get a hold of me. I'm easy to get a hold of, no expectations. If you want to do that homeowner analysis, or if you want to get together with Judy, we're always here for you, okay? And look forward to hearing from you. Hope you've learned something. Go out there and be proactive. Make things happen and don't wait for things to happen, okay? Thanks a bunch. Take care. Bye-bye.